Hello there, welcome back to co-op on Greenskins, Dwarfs, me, Legend, etc. You know the drill.
Yep.
Yeah, there's Legend. Anyway, it's my turn, and I've been sitting here for a few minutes now while we've been talking, and my turn is half over, so I need to get my move on here.
It's alright.
So I know there's a Karak-Hiran army just to my west. I'm not sure if I want to go take Karak-Angazar right now, so I might just be able to walk over to Matorka and take it back, which
That's
would be
one of the
annoying.
most annoying settlements to take because you kind of like it's a minor settlement. You need to take Karak Hirn, sorry, um, like straight away, or else because holding a minor settlement on legendary difficulty by itself is pretty
Yeah,
much impossible.
happiness is fucking, yeah. I actually, I had exactly that with this exact town in my single player campaign at one point. Well, I know there's an army there, so I wonder if I take it, if they're going to come at me or if they're going to go towards Matorka. I'm not sure if they could, like, reach it. I'm going to send this agent up a little bit. So
I can't
find
even
that.
see. Do I even have any agents? I don't think I've got any. I'm just sort of cruising around on this one. This one, no, not this campaign. Because
Holy
the thing is, because we're co-op, I don't need to worry about anything. So I'm just chilling,
Yeah,
just going around raiding, pillaging, killing my own people. It's all good.
yeah, why not? It's good times.
And I don't enjoy like maximizing agent action stuff, like assassinating and sabotaging buildings. I hate that kind of crap.
In this game, I haven't done anything, like, except for trying to assassinate other enemy agents, because they can be a bit
Yeah.
annoying. I haven't done anything that's against towns or whatever. I just put them in armies, because they seem to be best at doing that. I don't
Yeah.
level them up at all for, like, the civic stuff either. I just go straight for military. It just seems to work best, really.
Yeah, the thing is, in previous Total Wars, previous recent Total Wars, agents didn't cost upkeep, but in this one they do, and they're not cheap at all.
No,
They're
no, no, no.
250 if they're out on the field, and then if you attach them to your army, then the the penalties are attached to it. So, for example, I've got 5 armies with 8% extra upkeep, which seems a bit low. Um, so the upkeep cost of the agents is increased by 8%. So for a unit that costs 250, you got to ask yourself, how much killing power is that going to do in any individual battle? And the answer is usually not very much, unless it's like a spellcaster that's got like some wicked spells.
Yeah.
But for greenskins, I don't know, like some of them that are alright, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of greenskin magic.
I haven't really used much of it yet, but there's some spells that sound really cool, like that Foot of Mork or Gork, whatever the fuck
Yeah,
his
that's
name
probably
is.
the best one.
That one seems alright, yeah. Everyone seems to be raving on about that, like, Vortex one. I don't remember what it's called, but that one doesn't... Like, I feel like the Vortex spells, especially on Legendary, just don't do that much. Like, the Fate of Bajuna, for example, like, the single targets, or just, like, direct damage spells seem to be better, from what I've noticed. And, like, spells that target enemy generals, like, single target things, seem to be quite good.
Yeah.
But the Vortex spells, I don't know, they look cool, but they don't really, I don't know. All they seem to do is knock over units and they get back up again. It probably does some health damage, but I don't know if that's enough to really be worth it.
Pretty much.
But then again, I haven't really got much experience because the only campaign I played that far has been the Dwarfs one, and they don't have magic, so it's easy for me to say.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm doing at the moment, to be honest. I'm just moving around. These top knots, the problem is that they're all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be like present a consolidated effort to kill them. Ugh. I've reached that point with this game now where it's like the novelty of it has worn out.
Well, that's what you get when you put 1,200 hours into a game.
600, come on, let's be reasonable. But the thing is, like, I'm still giving this game a positive review because I think it was with Total War Attila, I reached the point where the novelty ran out after like 50 hours, where I was like, oh man, this game's boring. Now, it's not that this game is boring, it's just that I think towards Medieval 2. I always compare it to my favorite, and I just think there's so many ways in which Medieval 2 is better than this.
Yeah.
And
It's hard, like, I understand the comparison, but it is, like, it's annoying because they can never get to that quality anymore because everything has changed so much that they're focusing on different areas. The people that play these types of games, well, not the people necessarily, but generally, like, they're trying to appeal to the majority of people rather than like a focused group of like hardcore games, essentially.
I don't think that they actually are, though. Like, I know they're trying to make the games more casual and everything like that, but I don't think it's actually doing them any favors, to be honest.
I don't know.
Like, I think the engine that they made, the Total War 2 engine, was just so sublime for its time, that the fact that they threw it away for Warscape engine, I don't think people who grew up on Total War 1 and Total War 2 engine have ever forgiven them for that, and I know I haven't, for throwing away Total War 2 engine, because, in my opinion, Warscape is better than Total War 1 engine, Total War 2 engine is better than all of them.
Yeah.
And just...
I can't, like, I've never... Well, I started on Rome 1, but I was so young I didn't play it enough to really get a feel for it. I skipped, like, Medieval. Basically, I got back into it with Shogun 2, so, like, that's my comparison, because that's, like, the one I love the most.
Shogun 2 is probably the best made one in the Warscape engine, but it's still the Warscape engine. Like, it just...
Yeah.
That's the thing, like, there's a big difference between, as far as time is, between Medieval 2 and Shogun 2. And I think one of the main things that people really love about Shogun 2, and this is one of the things that makes Shogun 2 really stand out, is the multiplayer aspect of Shogun 2 is sublime. It's the best one out of all of them. And I think that's where it comes in. But the thing is, I come from a campaign perspective, and the campaign of Shogun 2 is not as good as Medieval 2.
No, but it's still good compared to like some of the other ones. Like what I like about this one, I like that there was in Attila, like I guess they wanted to make it harder, but there was a lot of like useless mechanics in the game that just didn't really do much. Like for example, the integrity system, it didn't do anything unless you got the 0. It didn't do anything. Like there was no reason for that to be here. It's still in this game, but it actually has a reason. Like for the WAS, it's the same system, but it actually does something. And for the other factions, it's just not there anymore. And there's other things like that as well, where like they've just taken out the silly mechanics, and other ones that are still there actually have a purpose now. So that really, like, I really enjoyed that about this game, is that it's not just like useless shit that doesn't do anything anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not as much useless shit, but the problem is, like, when you compare like gameplay features, this to Medieval 2, Medieval 2, in my opinion, just has the best campaign features. It's just like the way the settlements function, the way the armies function, the way recruitment functions, everything is just so fine-tuned. I mean, you can't just spam your best units because everything's based on a recruitment pool. Your economy is based on people and based on so many little things that all, if you can get everything aligned, it can just be so massive. Crusades and jihads, they work really well, in my opinion. There's a few bugs to do with them, but it's alright.
See, for me, the problem has always been that since I never played Medieval 2 when I was younger, I don't really know like all the older mechanics.
Yeah.
And I've never taken the time to really learn them, and that's really been like a problem, because with Rome 1 I sort of understood, but like all the buildings, for example, like with the newer games, I feel like it's really intuitive what you want to build. Like it makes sense at all. Like it says, this is happiness, this is that, this is etc. etc. You have the encyclopedia to fall back to as well if you're not like wondering. Obviously, you don't have that with the older games, and that's not like saying, oh, it's terrible because it doesn't have an encyclopedia. I mean, that's obviously not what I meant, but it's just like it's hard to get into it if you've never played it before, because you are completely new essentially to it.
What's that, to the older Total Wars?
Yeah, to like Medieval 2. Like if I jumped into it, I wouldn't know like what to do. And because in these games I can play on Legendary immediately because of like it's the same engine. It's just
the same game, the same mechanics. They've barely changed anything, to be honest. I was the same. Like I was able to jump straight into Legendary and go like, fucking hell, I've already mastered this. By mastered it, I mean like I can handle Legendary difficulty. Even though when they emailed to me, they said, hey guys, you should probably play it on easy on your first try. I'm like, fuck that, I'm playing on Legendary. And just like, don't give me your horseshit creative assembly excuses. And it was fine. played on other difficulties, of course, to test it for review purposes and to test things out, because you can test things a lot easier on easier difficulties. But
Yeah.
in regard to what you were saying, I remember my first time playing Rome 1. Now, I'd come from Medieval 1 campaign, and the difference between Medieval 1 and Rome 1 is huge. Like, the gameplay is completely different, and I was a complete idiot in the way I was playing. But the first thing I did was play the prolonged campaign, and it showed me how to do everything. And and I remember my first campaign as a Julia, and I took forever, and I was just playing on easy difficulty, long time ago, and I just had to learn my way through it, but it was so engaging that I was happy to just sit there and keep on trying, Oh, I was defeated there, no problem, I'll learn from that mistake. That's not how you do sieges, I'll do it this way from now on.
Yeah.
There were so many different ways you could do it, but like sieges with this, it's like, well, here's the line of wall, assault it. It's like, this is not better.
I mean, this is obviously like, I guess, well, it's a good example because of how it's changed, but it's a bad. Oh, they were fucking ambushing me. God damn it! Didn't realize that. It's a bad example because the siege in this game are like just terrible compared to previous ones. Like the Attila ones weren't like that bad, not as bad as these ones at least.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think the main problem for me with the older games is, and that's kind of, oh, they sucked it.
Yeah, they weren't gonna hold that.
The main thing for me is that you don't have replenishment on your armies. Like you have to retrain them essentially.
That was like, that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good mechanic, but coming from like the newer games, being used to the newer games, it's such it's almost a nuisance because you have to like put more effort in. Like, I want my units to just replenish and be done with it.
But that's the point.
I know. That's the thing. Like, it's a good mechanic, but it's like coming from the newer games, it's annoying because you don't want to have to deal with that shit.
That's the thing. I grew up on the older ones. I find that here's the thing. With the auto resolve the way it works and the replenishment system, there is no need to fight battles manually because of the way they've set things up.
Yeah,
they've set it up where every move you make is a slam dunk, whereas before you had to actually put in an effort to get what you wanted. Because, and this is what I was saying about the recruitment system. Like, you couldn't just go into battle and lose half your men and be like, that's okay, they'll replenish in 2 turns. No, you lose half your men. You've got to first go find a region where they can be recruited from, and then there's a limited recruitment pool. You can't just spam all feudal knights, for example. No, you'll get 1 feudal knight per 3 turns, sort of thing. And then you have to fill up the rest of your ranks, unless you want to wait forever. You got to fill up the rest of your rank with militia, and it made so much more sense.
Yeah.
So you would often find armies that are just very diverse because you couldn't do anything other than be very diverse. Because if you didn't, you just wouldn't be able to field an army in time. And to me, it's so much more representative of how things actually work. So much more immersive. With Rome 1, when you actually recruit something, it actually draws from the population in the city, so you can't just...
Yeah. That, I did like that a lot. You have to really... That's where the sort of hardcore aspects come in that they completely, neglected now in the newer games.
There's none of that in the newer games at all. With this, if you've got the level 4 building for thing, I can spam Black Orcs. I can have armies just full of Black Orcs. And the only reason why I don't do that is just due to upkeep costs, but it really shouldn't be about that. And that's the thing, in the older games... The upkeep cost difference wasn't that huge, so there was a lot more value to the more professional units because they wouldn't break your bank. It's just that they were rare to get. Even when you did have the technology for it, they were still rare because that's how it was. You in Roman times you wouldn't be able to just recruit full stacks of Praetorians, even though you could do it in Rome Total War. It just took 2 turns to recruit.
Yeah.
So
I was really surprised when I played Medieval. I did that hot seat on Call of Warhammer.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised by the graphics of the game. I hadn't played it at all up until that point, Medieval 2. I never even started it. And the units looked so good. I honestly couldn't believe my eyes when I first saw it. It was crazy, how good the units looked.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand.
For a game that's
such an old game.
Have you looked at Empire Total War? It's just a disgusting looking game.
Yeah.
It's such a downgrade.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a newer game and it just doesn't look anywhere near as good. I only played the Empire
The
know,
thing
6
is
hours or
though,
something.
like, Empire in a way both ruined and saved Total War, because Medieval 2 wasn't really profitable, or that profitable, I heard, because it didn't have a very good publisher. I think like the publisher it just wasn't selling. But it wasn't because the game wasn't good, because no one knew about Total War. Like, nobody would ever say, oh yeah, I hate Total War back then. It'd be like, I never even heard of Total War. And then Sega
Yeah.
took hold. And Sega is very good at marketing, but they're also very good at ruining series.
Yeah.
And they did that to Total War, in my opinion.
Indeed. Yeah, it's an interesting discussion. Can have a lot of opinions about it. I'm sure people that never played the older Total War games and like are still teenagers and stuff, they're like, oh, this game is the best game ever. Like, look at those graphics of Medieval 2, they're disgusting. Why would you play one? I want to play one of that.
Yeah, well, the
But
thing is, the other games are so good that you don't need the graphics.
no, but I'm just saying, like, that's what a lot of like kids think nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, graphics are important and gameplay and whatever.
Yeah, like, graphics are important,
Although
but, like...
to be fair, I think with
I don't
strategy games, there's usually a more mature audience involved. It's not like Call of Duty or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's one of the reasons why I like strategy games on YouTube as much as I do as well. It's because a lot of people that watch videos are like more mature, because it's, I don't know, you gotta be somewhat mature to actually understand strategy games. There's some intelligence that comes into play rather than just shooting things.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if it's about
Apparently you have to
maturity.
raid one of your territories for $1,500 for a grudge.
Just go
Oh, no, it's
for
just
it.
a quest. Yeah, it's a quest now. Yeah, I'll do that at some point. Defeat this guy. That's an actual grudge though. Okay. Oh, it's this one. Oh, yeah. I can do. This is that a grudge too far. You've had this in your video as well, where you've got two answers: right, the wrong, or on a result, and the results are exactly the same no matter what you do.
No, there's usually a secondary thing that'll pop up. If you write the wrong, maybe a turn from now, you'll get another reward.
Oh, right. Well, that's the one I did last time, I think.
Yeah, sometimes.
Right.
I know,
Annoying,
like I'm not saying, like, in regard to, like, Medieval 2, like, they just need to make another game that's exactly like Medieval 2. No, Medieval 2 had a lot of problems, but it had a lot of gems in there that were just totally thrown away. Like, population in city. Like, I can't stress how much Total War needs to return to population in cities.
Yeah.
Like, for example, in Medieval 2, when you conquers Constantinople and there's 50,000 people in there and you sack it and it says you're about to kill 10,000 people and make 60,000 florins in income, and then you sack the settlement, and then you just load and you do the same thing again and you occupy it and you see the difference it makes to the city. It's just, that's the kind of depth where you actually make a decision and it makes a difference. Whereas this, occupying it and looting, almost do the exact same thing. And buildings, you know, you get money based on how much value there is on the buildings. There's no people in these towns. You know, the thing is, empires, it's always been about protecting the people that live inside the cities. That's what cities are there for. Cities, fucking people live there, not buildings. Okay, you can have no buildings in a city and it'll still be a city, but if there's nobody there, it's not a city. It's a fucking ruin.
We're all passionate about this.
So I'm passionate about empires. That's the thing. About what actually is the guts of an empire. Armies are there to protect the people, not to protect your buildings. Okay, oftentimes people would dismantle the buildings to build barricades around towns, you know? It just frustrates me that Creative Assembly doesn't understand this. Well, maybe they do understand it, but they purposely forego it. But then again, I've seen the way they play these games. I don't think they understand it. They don't know how to play these games. They don't know how to play their own games.
Have you, are you talking about the community manager? Oh.
No, not necessarily the community manager, but just some of the other people that play their games.
Right.
They don't, it's like, look, I don't expect someone that works there to, like, love Total War, if that's their job. But at the same time, it would be better for the series if they did love Total War, because there were people that would work for Creative Assembly for free if they had the chance to, you know, actually have an input into Total War. mean, just look at the modding community. How much effort they put into these mods. There's a reason why people love Total War. Unfortunately, it's not like Call of Duty. It's not the most popular thing ever. It's not going to sell 50 million copies because there's not that many people that love history or love strategy that much.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know. I actually wouldn't mind knowing some numbers on Total War like sales, because it has definitely grown a lot in the last few years. I think Warhammer is probably like definitely up there for sales because of the fact that it's like two audiences combined now.
Yeah.
Warhammer as well as Total War fans. Because I do know a lot of people saying, "Oh, this is my first Total War. I came here because I like Warhammer. What do I do to shoot the game?"
Okay, here's what you do. Quit out of this, go buy Medieval 2, start there. Because this is a Total War game before it's a Warhammer game. You need to learn your Total War history.
But I mean, because we were talking, I think it was last episode actually, we talked about the fact that you said you were getting kind of the novelty is worn off. Yeah. And I can see what you're saying, but I do, like, if you just forget about Medieval 2 for a second, from the recent Total War games, this is definitely, so far for me at least, been one of my favorites. I'm not going to say
totally agree. Don't get me wrong, I totally agree. Like, this got a positive review for me because it is improvement over Rome 2 and Total War Attila.
Yeah.
But what my argument is that it's one step forward, not 5 steps forward, because the thing is, it's still behind Medieval 2.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you forget about that, like, of the recent Total Wars, at least it's a step forward. Yeah. Like, sadly, it's not more than one step, but it's forward at least, and that's something.
That's the thing. Yeah, my expectations are just a lot higher, and they just are not reaching my expectations. That's the thing. Like, Attila was just total garbage in my opinion. Just there are so many things about Attila that just make it just one of the worst Total Wars.
Yeah, I liked it more than Rome 2, but now that I'm playing, well, not recently, but I played Divide and Impera on Rome 2, and I like that so much more than Attila, like vanilla.
Yeah, well, it's all about depth, but the thing is, the games themselves are very difficult to mod. I think you can't add lost features.
Yeah. You can just change what's already there.
Yeah,
that's true. But because I never was really a mod fan, but I always wanted to retry Rome 2, and I heard so many people saying how good Divide and Impera was. I figured, fuck it, I'll give a mod a try. Why not? And I was blown away by how good it was.
Yeah. People ask me to do Let's Plays of it, but the reason why I don't is because it's like Europa Barbarorum 1. I don't feel like getting bogged down for a 100 episode series because it's just a bad business decision.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, don't get me wrong, I will play Divide et Impera by myself, but when I was playing it, I was just thinking, I'm not making a Let's Play on this. It's not going to happen. It's not good for me to do it. Like, if people would actually commit to watching beyond episode 5, then I'd do it, but they don't.
I see what you're saying. There's obviously, that's the downside of Total War game Let's Plays in general, usually, is that there's a lot of drop-off after a certain episode.
Yeah.
And obviously it's getting worse, like, it gets worse with the longer it goes on, but...
Yeah, people don't have
it was fun enough
high
for me
attention spans. Because the thing is, I think a lot of people, what they do is they watch a campaign for the initial challenge, and when they've seen that the initial challenge is pretty much over, they go, oh, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
But then I'm stuck finishing off victory conditions, conquer the entire map. Oh, great, well, that's going to take me the next 6 years.
Yeah, the Divide and Impera victory conditions are pretty fucking crazy. Right. Well, clean up that army. Next turn I'm going to jump over towards Migdal Vongalbarak. Take that, I think. Oh man, they've got a fucking Slayer Shrine there. Can be some more terrible units.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll just keep checking diplomacy to see if people are interested in anything, but... Oh, hold on. Damn it. No one wants to fucking confederate. I've been having this problem with, like, with my dwarf campaign, everyone wanted to confederate constantly. With my empire campaign, no one wants to confederate. Ever.
Yeah.
These people as well, they've got no... Well, they've got, like, four guys left, but they just don't want to confederate.
It's based on... Actually, I really don't know. I don't know why, but the orcs have really easy time confederating.
Yeah. I had an easy time with the orcs as well, actually, but my empire one, no one. The dwarf one as well, like, really easily. No, everyone wanted to confederate. Just constantly. I always had someone who wanted to confederate with me. But, I was lucky with the empire one. Or with this one, apparently now, because no one wants to confederate now. But, yeah, just murder them all. Why not? I'm just glad I'm finally actually able to do something again. Oh, they want peace. Well, how about that confederation, eh? No. Alright. Well, death it is then.
Okay, cool. I'll have to wrap this up in about 5 minutes. Just let you know.
Alright. We can do you do your turn, we'll make the shorter episode.
Yeah, it's all good.
Lionheart ready?
Yeah.
Lionheart takes precedence.
No, it's not really that.
Doesn't have time much.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, like... Lionheart's always on such a tight schedule.
Yeah. He usually, like, when we record, it's like, I'll be there at 7, and then he arrives at 8, and I'm just, like, sitting there for an hour waiting, because I don't want to record something, and then him end up actually showing up on time for once.
Yeah.
It's fun playing with him.
I do wonder what it will be like if I ever get to 200,000 subscribers. What it will be like, because one thing I know that he does a lot better than I do is he handles complaints a hell of a lot better than I do. Like, I'm horrible with people that... I don't know what to do here. It's too evenly matched.
Doesn't it save... No, it doesn't on single player, actually.
No, we actually have to end turn.
Well, yeah. I was going to say it's up to you, but...
What?
I mean, we could end it now, and then it'll go back to my
Oh, no,
turn,
we
I
can
think.
keep going for 5 minutes. It's all good.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want to fight the battle, we can do that next time. We could just...
Oh, I don't want to fight any battles manually. It's legendary difficulty. There's no incentive for it. I'll just... I'll fight it a different way.
But yeah, well, I was good. Yeah, you were just saying about comments thing, handling comments, because I enjoyed that when some people were being dicks to me on your channel and you just banned them.
Oh yeah, seriously. I've told them so many times, like if you want to comment, here's the things that I tolerate. I tolerate criticisms and I tolerate praise. I don't tolerate insults. To me,
Yeah,
or the people I play with.
I always ban insults immediately as well.
Like, yeah, like if you've got something nasty to say, fucking say it somewhere else. I'm not gonna hunt you down if you're like putting it on a forum. I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna hunt down all the people that call me cheesy on forums and on Reddit. I don't care. But if you come on my channel and start calling me cheesy all the time, I'm gonna start removing comments because I don't want to see them.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Like,
there was that one guy who was particularly nasty there, to be fair.
Oh yeah, so I gave him a warning and he did it anyway, so he got banned.
Yeah, and then he said meh.
Yeah,
because
well, that's how I
so
felt.
comments, no one's...
The thing is, I think that was a guy that was actually, I think he's been a subscriber of mine for a really long time. I don't know, it's hard to remember like all of them, but his screen name like rang a bell. So, but the thing is, like, I don't play favorites unless you're like a real favorite, you know. Then I'll give you a few warnings. Like if I know of them for a good long while. Like I've got a few subscribers that I know back from when I had like less than 1,000 subscribers. Those are VIPs that if they piss me off, I'll be like, look, they're a VIP. Cut them some slack. It's all good.
Yeah,
we'll be friends. But
I've
like
got that as well.
People that I don't know, if I don't know their screen name, I will slam the hammer down on them so hard that they'll be like, but I've been a subscriber of yours since then. I'll be like, I don't give a fuck. When have I given a fuck about these things?
Yeah. Anyway, let's end the episode so you can get that recording of Lionheart going.
Okay, cool.
Well, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will not steal your outro this time, so have a good day and goodbye.
And we'll see you next time, friends.